Astaghfirullah, astaghfirullah. Bismillah walhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala Sayyidil Anbiya wal Mursaleen wa ba'd. When discussing the importance of the day of Arafah, Imam Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, he says that there is no substitute to this day. There is no substitute to this day. What you can achieve from this day is so unique, it's so powerful. It's a day like no other day. And in particular, when we think about asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our greatest needs, for our most desirous wants, for the things that have been really disturbing us throughout the year or in our lives, this is the day to do and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One, it's a day of mercy, it's a day of forgiveness. But two, we're fasting, inshaAllah. Three, the Hujjaj are making dua. Four, it's right before Eid. It's a beloved day in the sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the importance of making dua today is like no other day. There are many opportunities we get to make dua, whether it's between the iqamah and between the adhan, whether it's on a Friday before Jumu'ah, whether it's asking your parents for dua, whether it's asking the pious for dua. These are all noble ways of doing it. But today is the day where we pour out our hearts, we cry to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for whatever we're able to. Imam Nawawi, he says so beautifully, he says, it's not about how eloquent your dua is. He says, saja'. If you can make it rhyme, you can make it sound beautiful and adorned, that's irrelevant. He says what's important for dua is mahfuzatun indahu, what's from your heart. Whether it's in Arabic, whether it's in your own language, sometimes we get caught up with saying, oh, what's a specific dua that I can recite on this day? There are specific duas, but the most important and the most powerful dua is the dua that comes from the heart. A person sees his son or daughter sick, a person knows that they're going through some financial struggle, a person knows that their family is in turmoil, a person knows that they have an uphill battle with paying the bills or their jobs or whatever it is, or there's somebody struggling with their faith. When that person cries and the dua comes from the heart, that's more powerful any dua that a person does, whether it's rhyming, whether it's eloquent, even in your broken language. And Imam Nawawi rahimahullah ta'ala, he says, the best and powerful dua we can all ask if we want something in Arabic is رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً. Ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for goodness in this life and goodness in the afterlife. Some narrations have specific du'as. If you recite those du'as, that's great. But the idea is after every salah, particularly before Maghrib, raise our hands and make dua. As we speak, the Hujjaj on the day of Arafah, they are on that mountain, going through all of that difficulty, making that dua, praying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So our hope is not that, Ya Allah, accept my dua. It's more like, Ya Allah, your mercy at this moment is directed toward the people of Arafah. By virtue of their nobility and their goodness, just accept me on the side. You know, our teacher used to say, whenever a person goes to buy something from the store, they'll go and they'll buy something, let's say for instance it's some grain, some nuts, some food, something. A generous person will give them what the person wants. I want 1 kilogram of raisins. The person will give me 1 kilogram. But if the person who's selling is generous, he'll grab a few more and put it in the bag out of kindness and generosity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is very generous. The people on Arafah, the Hujjaj, they're making dua. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking out His mercy and giving it to them. But Allah's mercy isn't limited to that. There are some people He's going to take out and extra just give from His own kindness. And we pray to Allah that, Ya Allah, as we make this dua, whatever dua it may be from our hearts, on the virtue of the people of Hujjaj, the people of Arafah, accept us as well. We have weaknesses, we have shortcomings, we have struggles, we have challenges. Things that are so difficult, sometimes we're by ourselves in the corner crying, nobody else knows. Sometimes we're in our beds crying and nobody else knows. But Allah knows, and if we make dua on this day, Imam Nawawi says, this is the day to make that dua. So we still have many hours throughout the day, whether it's right now after Fajr Salah, we sit down and make dua, whether it's after the Salah, whether after the other Salahs before Maghrib. It's a prime time, very important time to call out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our fasting. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all of our du'as. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept the du'as that we make. May He accept the du'as that we don't make and the du'as that we want to but are unable to make. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullah.